All right. What can I say? First of all, I think just a great college football game, particularly in the second half. Kirby's team came out. A lot of respect for him and what he's done and what he's building here, and obviously Coach Richt as well. And we knew that we were walking into a great environment, and we had to grow up as a football team. And I didn't like our performance in the first half. I thought we were nonchalant. I didn't think we were very physical on both sides of the football. And there's something about this team. They're resilient. They understand. And you don't win a game like that if you don't have character, and I continue to say it. We were in two-man at the end of the game. You know, Eason makes a play. Give them credit. But, you know, when they got the 15-yard penalty, we felt we had a chance. And, you know, that's a kickoff return that we put in at the end of the game. We've had it in for 3 years and never used it. And to our kids' credit, we rep it every Thursday, and we were able to get it and then put us at midfield or range where you could throw a Hail Mary, and told our kids in the huddle, we're going to come down with it. We're going to find a way. And Josh, it's probably the best ball he's thrown in his career. And then what can I say about Juwan Jennings? He wasn't going to be denied. Has a little bit of vertical to him. And again, just resiliency, 11 straight wins, 5th longest streak in school history. But really the most important thing is it's one step closer, and we needed to be 1-0, and we were 1-0. Puts us to 5-0 overall. And just finding ways to win football games. What can I say? I thought Josh Dobbs managed the football game, did some good things. Jalen went out with a lower extremity injury, so we weren't able to have Jalen Hurd. So that's why he didn't play. And what can I say? Alvin Kamara stepped up and was a workhorse for us in the second half. Again, just proud of our players and the character that's been displayed. I'll answer any questions you may have.
Butch Jones, I think, was the MVP of the state title on the team on basketball his junior year. Did a pretty good box out there. Is that something that you, when you work that, rep that, or he does try to work at basketball player that is?
I think if you ask him, he relies on his instincts to go up and get the football. And Juwan is one of the most competitive players I've ever been around, and he wasn't going to be denied. And I give Coach Azani credit. We called timeout to see how they were aligned, and he shuffled the lineup on the trip side. And those are things that people don't realize. But Coach Z put him in position to make that play. So did Josh Dobbs, and Juwan came down with it.
Patrick and Joe.
What it looked like after the touchdown, you were pretty emotional. Just all your players were too. Just what's going through your mind as the ball's in the air, and then kind of just what's going through your mind?
Kind of surreal. I saw the ball, tight spiral, had good lift. I thought we had a chance. And it's one of those moments in time that you'll remember forever. I've also been on the other end of them too, and you remember them forever. But I think it's a great illustration that you play to the clock hits hits zeros. And from my vantage point, I could see him come down with the ball, land on his back, and all I could see was a mad rush to the field. And the thing I was worried about was replay. And but there was no replay needed for that. Something I'll remember for a lifetime.
Butch, have you ever been in a game with those kind of swings with stakes like that?
No. And that's why when I talk about character, it takes a lot to respond. What you give up, the go-ahead touchdown with, 10 seconds, 12 seconds to go in the game. And it's a tribute to our kids. Everybody was where they needed to be. There wasn't a substitution issue, and they were focused. And, you know, the calmness of our sideline, when you go back and you think about it, was surreal. And there was no panic. Nobody was down. And I looked the kids in the eye and I told them we're going to find a way to make a play. I told the line, just give them protection and let them put the ball out there. And we were kind of toying with doing a lateral type play, but I wanted to put the ball in the end zone and let Juwan go up and get the football.
Rob and then John Toy.
Coach, last week you talked about Josh, how really gutty that performance was. What did you say about the day? Especially the first half, you guys don't have a lot of momentum. We made some huge runs. Who was going to take shots?
thought he followed up with it. Two back-to-back, senior quarterback, been through a lot. His heart, and I told our players at halftime is that, we take care of you here. We make sure you have the best of the best, but the things we can't give you is a will to win, a heart, and a desire. And I said, you're going to show me how bad you want it in the second half. And they came out, and I thought we played pretty good football in the second half to overcome it. But guys, I'm as mind-boggled as everyone of the slow starts. And again, we'll make it a teach point. We've started practice different. We'll continue to emphasize this, but at the end of the day, the best you can be is 5-0, and we're 5-0.
Jonathan Toyd and John Bryce.
Coach, with Georgia's really talented running backs, how much did you guys miss Jalen Reed and Darren Kirkland? How did you guys sort of adjust to being really talented like that?
Again, I give, Colton Jumper, Cortez McDowell, those individuals a lot of credit. And again, you take away 3 all-conference football players off of anybody's defense with Cam Sutton, Jalen Reeves-Maben, and Darren Kirkland, and these individuals keep stepping up and making plays for us. And again, I can't say enough. We had a lot of individuals play valuable repetitions, and I told our team before we left the hotel that somebody in this room would have to step up. Somebody that maybe doesn't play as much, you're going to step up and you're going to have a role in winning this football game. And we talked about, really being, 68 strong of making this trip. Jalen couldn't play and neither did Cam, but they count on the travel roster. And we were 68 strong.
John Bryce and Wes.
Hey, Butch, I wonder, when you guys work that play in practice, how often do you execute it? And then the decision to go ahead and
We catch it every time, but it's also on air. So
and then the decision to throw to the end zone there and start maybe trying to get a few yards or do something else, how much of that is born in the trust that you have in those guys, particularly from what they've done already this season?
I can honestly tell you, on Alex's name standing right there, I 100% firmly believe we were going to catch the football and we were going to score. And that's a belief I have in this football team and these kids and what these kids have been through for 5 weeks. And they're getting everyone's best shot. And that's why I respect Kirby. I respect Georgia. They got a heck of a football team. And we found a way to win a football game on a road in really challenging environment and challenging opportunities. And I can't say enough about these kids, the resiliency and the resolve and the no panic.
Wes, Paul, and Joe.
It seemed like Malik Foreman had a pretty interesting day. He hadn't played cornerback in a couple years in the game, and he goes in there and then makes the big pick and then kind of gets lost a little bit on that touchdown. I guess, what would you think of his performance overall?
I'll know a little bit more. On the last play we were in 2-man, but, the interception, when you look at it from a coach's perspective, is a great interception. And to take the next step as a football team, as an offense, we have to close the game out. We need to force them to burn their timeouts, get 2 first downs, and the game's over with. And it gets back to situational football and 4-minute offense. And, so that'll be a teaching point as well. But Malik put us in a situation to close the game out, and we weren't able to do that.
Paul.
With the defensive line, just how huge were they in the second half? Was it, again, no changes, it was just kind of a demeanor thing that changed?
Demeanor and execution. Yep. And I do think with the flexibility right now with playing as many guys as we are, we're fresh. Where in the past, we had defensive linemen, getting 70 reps, 60 reps, 80 reps in one particular contest. And what happens is that's accumulation over time. And now being able to rotate guys in and get valuable repetitions, I think also that's a byproduct of that as well.
Finish up with Joe, Ed, and Reed.
Is it as simple as the safety's got to be there on their touchdown?
Well, we were in 2-man, so our corner's got to stay in man coverage, and our safety has to get over the top. You couldn't have been in a better coverage, but again, also, give quarterback, give him a lot of praise. And, he scrambled out and he made a play, and he's got a strong arm, and their receiver went up and made a play. And sometimes football comes down to just making plays, as we just witnessed.
Did you consider putting the ball more into Dobbs' hands later, 3rd and 3 or into Kamara?
Yeah, but a lot of it too is based on the fronts that we were seeing, and they were in man coverage. What I thought about doing is just throwing the ball vertical and trying to end it there. But you know, you're forced with playing situational football because it's third down. If you throw the ball deep and it's incomplete, then they don't have to burn a timeout. So now all of a sudden they have 2 timeouts, and that changes the complexion in a hurry. Where if you run the football, you're not going to run much time off the clock, but you are going to force them to burn a timeout.
Edward, ask him.
You said that it's mind-boggling what's happening in the first half. How concerning is that going forward? Obviously,
It is concerning. And I think every person in that locker room understands that we have to be better in the first half. And you can't turn the football over, particularly when you go on the road. You cannot turn the football over. We took 7 points off the board. You know, all those things. You know, we tried to play field position, but, you know, I got to give our kids credit, too. They don't blink. They don't flinch. And if you don't have character, you don't win games like that. And this is something that, you know, we work hard in our program year-round with building the character and building the mindset and building the mentality. And, you know, it's the way you practice. It's everything that you believe in. And these kids believe in each other. They believe that somebody's going to make a play. And it was almost like deja vu a year ago. And you all know what I'm talking about. And the difference was this football team didn't blink, and they found a way to win.
Finish up with Reed. We got a bunch of players coming in.
Was just in terms of that, Hillary, like how often do you guys practice that? How often does that?
Practice it somewhat in training camp a bunch, but we practice it once a week on our Thursdays or our Fridays practice. And again, there's a lot that goes into it. You know, from the spacing of the individuals, everything is about protection that our O-line gave, but the ball that Josh gave was, you know, and then what can I say? It's a player making a play. Great player making a great play.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
We got some players coming in.